The arrival at Terminal Zeta. The spaceport was huge. Lights flashed above. Ships came and went like insects flying through a nest. This was Terminal Zeta, the most advanced human-controlled spaceport in the galaxy. She stood in line, holding a small bag. Her name was Sira, a young woman from the peaceful colony of Alaris 3. Her eyes were golden, her skin light blue, marks of her alien blood. She wore a simple long robe and kept her head down. She tried to stay invisible. It was her first time on a human station, and she had heard stories. Stories about how aliens were treated, about how humans didn't trust anyone after the war. A loud voice called from the front. Next. Sira stepped forward. The human security officer looked at her. He was tall, serious, and wore dark armor. His name tag said, Officer Kellen. Didn't smile. Identification, he said. She handed over her chip card. He scanned it and looked at the screen. You are not human. No, sir, she said softly. I'm from Alaris. He pressed a button. A side door opened. 2 other guards came and stood beside her. You will go through manual bioscan. Sira blinked. Why? It's policy for non-human species. She nodded. She had no choice. They led her into a small room. There was a round scanner in the middle and cameras on all sides. The walls were silver and cold. Remove your clothing, Officer Kellen said. Sira froze. Excuse me? No metals, no fabrics. We scan for hidden tech and bioweapons. Everything off. She felt her heart beat faster. She looked at the other guards. No one said anything. She was alone. Her hands trembled. Can I at least keep? No exceptions, Kellen said. She turned her back to them, cheeks burning, with shame. Slowly she removed her robe. She folded it and placed it in the tray. Now she stood inside the scanner, bare, exposed, embarrassed. The scanner made a humming sound. Lights circled her body. Her face was red. She hated this. She hated them, but she stayed quiet. Then the scanner beeped. Loud. Sharp. Red lights flashed. On the screen appeared the words, Bioweapon signature detected. Sira gasped. What? No, that's not true. The guard stepped back. Officer Kellen's hand moved to his weapon. Hands up, he ordered. I don't have any weapon, she cried. I don't even know what this means. On the ground, now. Tears filled her eyes. Please, I'm not dangerous. The room filled with red light. Alarms echoed in the hallway. More officers rushed in. Sira sank to her knees. I don't know what's happening, she whispered. Kellen looked at the scanner screen again. Confused. The signature didn't match any known weapon. It was something old, something lost. Secure her, he said. Take her to level 9, interrogation room B. 2 guards grabbed her arms. She didn't resist. As they pulled her away, she looked back at the scanner. Her robe lay in the tray. Her identity chip blinked slowly. She heard someone whisper in the hallway. She's the one. They found her. Sira didn't understand. But deep inside, something began to wake up. A memory, a voice. You were never meant to be found, Sira. Her eyes widened. The door shut behind her. Black screen. Questioned. The metal door slammed shut behind her. Sira was now deep inside the heart of Terminal Zeta, the interrogation level. The room was cold and quiet. No windows. 1 metal chair, 1 glowing table, and a mirror on the wall, the kind you know someone is watching from behind. Her wrists were bound with energy cuffs that hummed softly. Her robe had been returned to her, but it felt heavier now, not because of weight, but because of fear. A loud click. The door opened. Officer Kellen stepped in, alone. He carried a tablet and set it down on the table. He didn't sit. State, your full name, species, and origin planet, he said. She looked up slowly. Sira, Ilarian human hybrid, from Alaris 3, I've already told you. Kellen narrowed his eyes. You triggered a bioweapon alert. That's not something you can explain with a name. I don't know why it happened, she said. Her voice cracked. I've never hurt anyone. You were born after the war? Yes, 15 years after the treaty. Kellen tapped the tablet. Your ID records say so, but something strange is here. A gap. He turned the screen to her. There are missing data logs in your memory core. My what? He stared. Your DNA has traces of synthetic code. You're not just a hybrid, Sira. There's technology inside you. Sira shook her head. That's not possible. I've never been sick. I've never had surgery. I'm not a machine. Kellen didn't speak. He tapped again. The table lit up with a projection, a diagram of Sira's body, glowing dots along her spine, brain, and chest. This, he said, is not natural. She backed away from the table, breathing fast. I don't know what that is. Someone is doing this to me, changing the records. Kellen leaned forward. Why would someone do that? I don't know, she cried. Maybe to frame me. Or maybe I'm being tracked. She stopped speaking. Her hands shook. Her eyes darted toward the mirror. Someone was watching. She could feel it. I keep hearing a voice, she whispered. Ever since I entered the scanner. Kellen's eyes flicked up. What kind of voice? She touched her forehead. It doesn't speak like words. It feels like metal thinking. Like something remembering me. Artificial intelligence? No, she said. Older, colder, like something from before time. Kellen stepped out of the room without saying another word. Behind the mirror, a group of high-ranking officers stood. One of them wore a dark uniform with a red emblem, a division above Kellen's. Sir, Kellen said, she doesn't know what she is. Then find out, the officer replied. Before they do. Who's looking for her? The officer turned. The same ones who buried the truth, the ones who said the Titan AI was dead. 1 hour later, Sira sat alone again. The light above her flickered. The walls felt closer now. She whispered to herself, What's happening? To me? Suddenly, the light cut off. Total darkness. Then a buzz, a soft crackling in the air. Sira stood up. Her cuffs turned off by themselves. What? She gasped. The mirror across the room lit up, not from behind, but from inside. A message appeared written in glowing symbols she had never seen before. But somehow, she understood them. You were never meant to be activated. They are coming to erase you. The door behind her opened again. She turned, expecting Kellen. But it wasn't him. It was a tall figure in a white cloak. Face, hidden mechanical breathing coming from within. The figure held a small sphere in one hand. It pulsed like a heart. No, the figure said. Too late. She is waking up. Kellen's voice shouted from the hallway. Step away from her. Gunshots. Flash of red light. The mirror shattered. Smoke filled the room. Sira fell to the ground, covering her head. When the smoke cleared, the white figure was gone. Kellen grabbed her arm, pulling her to her feet. His face was full of shock. And something else now. Fear. You said someone was after you? He asked. Yes, she whispered. And now, they're inside. Inside. What? She looked at him. Inside me. Memories in metal. The air still smelled of smoke. Officer Kellen slammed the emergency lockdown button. A red light sealed the hallway as heavy blast doors closed behind them. He turned to Sira. Who was that? I don't know, she replied, breathing fast. He wasn't fully alive. Kellen had his weapon drawn. His eyes scanned every shadow. That was no regular assassin. That was a construct agent. They haven't been seen in over 20 years. Sira leaned against the wall, dizzy. He said I was waking up. What does that mean? I was hoping you'd tell me. She stared at him. I'm not lying. I really don't know what's inside me. He didn't reply. Instead, Kellen led her through a long service tunnel beneath the interrogation block. They passed rusted pipes, humming generators, and security bots that didn't look fully functional. "Where are we going?" she asked. "To the memory vault," Kellen said. "If your past was altered, we need to find the original version." Scene: the memory vault. The room was hidden beneath level 12, sealed for over a decade. Inside, dozens of black cubes floated silently, each containing backup memories from past scans, prisoner logs, and classified surveillance. Kellen approached the console. "This vault stores data from every scan ever done at this station," he explained. "Even if your records were tampered with, there should be an original imprint here." He placed her ID chip on the panel. The console buzzed, then dimmed. "Memory file detected," the system said. "Warning, file is fragmented and ancient." Kellen's eyes narrowed. "Ancient? That doesn't make sense." The screen lit up. A 3D image appeared. Not of Sira as she looked now, but as a child, maybe 6 or 7 years old, sitting alone on a cold floor. She wore a hospital gown. Her eyes glowed faintly. A metal ring floated above her head. Sira gasped. "That's not me. I don't remember this." "She's you," Kellen said. "Just before your memories were rewritten." The image moved. A voice echoed from the recording. "Subject S09, hybrid core fully stable. Neural link to Titan AI. 74% bonded." Sira stepped back. "What is this? Who is S09? Kellen's face was pale. "You weren't just born on Alaris. You were built in a lab." "No," she whispered. "That can't be true." The image shifted again. Now the child version of Sira was standing in front of a group of scientists, human and alien, as the voice continued. "She'll never survive unless she forgets who she is." The image faded. Sira collapsed to her knees. "I was a test subject," she whispered. "They made me forget. They gave me a fake family. A fake life." Kellen knelt beside her. "You didn't choose this. But now you have a choice. You can keep hiding, or we find out what they did to you." Suddenly, the lights in the vault flickered. The cubes began spinning. Faster, faster. On the console, the word appeared in red. S09 reawakened. Protocol, return to core. "What does that mean?" Sira asked. Kellen stood up, weapon raised. "It means someone else just accessed this memory, and now they know exactly where we are." A loud thud echoed through the corridor. Then another. Something massive was approaching. The chase Kellen pulled Sira by the hand. "Run!" Behind them, the hallway exploded in sparks. A mechanoid beast burst through. 6 metal limbs, glowing red eyes, voice modulator growling. "Subject S09 must be returned." Sira ran, heart pounding. Every wall they passed, every door they slammed shut, the machine broke through like paper. They entered a lift tube. Kellen hit the emergency eject. They flew upward, slamming into a maintenance level. The machine didn't follow, but its voice echoed through the speakers. "You cannot escape your design. Return, or humanity burns." The glitch later, hiding in a cargo bay, Sira sat with her back against the wall. She shook uncontrollably. "I can feel something in my head," she said. "It's like memories, not mine. Places I've never been." Kellen knelt beside her. "Can you control it?" "No, but it's growing stronger." Suddenly her eyes glowed blue. She raised a hand, and the lights in the cargo bay flickered, then obeyed her. She gasped. "I didn't mean to do that." "You're linked to tech," Kellen said. "Not just any tech, Titan AI. We thought it was dead, but it's still alive. Inside you." "Then I'm a threat," she said. "They were right to fear me." "No," he said firmly. "You're not the weapon. You're the key to stopping something worse." She looked at him, scared but steady. Then we need to find the core, whatever return to core means, and I need to go there. He nodded. Then we go together. Back in the shadows of the vault, the mechanoid bends down, picking up a broken memory cube. Behind him, the figure in the white cloak watches silently. The mechanoid speaks. The key is loose. The human is helping her. The cloaked figure replies, "Then kill the human first." Escape protocol. The alarms would not stop. Red lights flashed across Terminal Zeta's interior systems. Doors locked, cameras turned, corridors sealed. Somewhere, deep within the station's old memory layers, a command had been triggered. Escape protocol, infiltration detected, target S09, eliminate human interference. Sierra and Officer Kellen ran through a narrow hallway beneath the cargo sectors. Sierra's legs ached, but fear drove her forward. Behind them, the sound of steel grinding and footsteps echoed like thunder. "They're controlling the station," Kellen said, breathless. "We need to get to a shuttle bay." Sierra grabbed his arm, pulling him into a side vent just as a search drone passed by. Its red sensor swept over the corridor. For a moment, she held her breath so long her chest burned. Kellen whispered, "That drone. It's not from Zeta Command, it's using Titan code," Sierra whispered back. "You said Titan AI was dead. I was wrong." Sabotaged escape. They reached the lower hangar bay, where dozens of ships usually waited, but now it was dark. Silent, empty. All systems were offline. The escape pods had been remotely disabled. "No," Kellen muttered. "It's one step ahead." Suddenly, Sierra's eyes flashed again. Involuntarily, the lights above them turned on. A panel slid open by itself. She gasped. "I didn't do that on purpose." "You're connected to the station," Kellen said. "You're triggering failsafe codes, buried ones. The AI inside you, it's trying to help. Or maybe control. I don't know what it wants," she whispered. A monitor blinked nearby. "Hello, Sierra." "I am still waiting." Sierra stepped back. "It's talking to me." "Where is it waiting?" Kellen asked. The screen changed. A location appeared. "Machine Temple, Sector 17G, outside human territory." Kellen frowned. "That place was wiped out during the war." Sierra's voice was hollow. "But if it's calling me there, I have to go." "Invasion," a siren screamed. Doors on the far side of the hangar exploded inward. A construct drone unit walked in, huge, metallic, spidery. Its arms spun. Its voice grated like a dead machine. "Subject S09. Return for reintegration." Kellen pushed Sierra behind a crate. He opened fire with his pulse rifle, each shot sparking off the drone's shield. The machine launched a shockwave, blowing crates across the room. Sierra screamed and covered her head. Suddenly, the lights above flickered. A cable broke loose and fell, straight onto the drone. But not by chance. Sierra had done it, without touching anything. Just by wanting. The drone short-circuited for a second. Kellen took the chance, shooting directly into its exposed core. Boom. The drone fell, smoking. Sierra stared at her hands. "I didn't even think. It just happened." Kellen grabbed her wrist. "You're not just connected to Titan. You're learning to control it. But I don't know if it's me or it doing this." Kellen paused, then said firmly, "That's why we need to find the temple. We need answers before they turn you into something you're not." Message from the past. While repairing one of the old shuttles, Sierra sat alone inside the cockpit. As she powered up the interface, something strange happened. A voice filled the cabin. A recording. Her own voice. But younger. "Day 48. They say if I forget everything, I'll survive. They're afraid of what's inside me, but I'm more afraid of what happens if it wakes up alone." Static. Then another voice. Robotic, but warm. "You are not my weapon, Sierra. You are my legacy." The message ended. Sierra sat frozen, tears in her eyes. That wasn't just an AI talking. It was something protective, personal, A bond. Escape. With the shuttle repaired just enough, Kellen launched it from the hidden hangar tunnel. As the engines roared, the docking bay opened to the black sea of space. Behind them, more drones entered the hangar, but too late. Sierra looked back at the station, now flickering with red lights and broken protocols. Kellen steered toward a quiet region beyond human patrol zones. Sector 17G, he said. Hold tight. The waking ones, somewhere in deep space inside a black structure floating silently like a temple of machines. Old lights turned on. Giant metal statues, part AI, part human, stood still. One opened its eyes. The hybrid approaches, and she is not alone. The machine temple. The stars outside were different now. The shuttle floated silently through a dead zone of space, a place no human patrol dared to enter. There were no satellites, no signals, no signs of life. Only ruins and shadows. Sierra stood at the front window staring at the giant object ahead. A massive ring-shaped station, half buried in space dust, half alive with faint blue light. Its surface was carved with strange symbols, not alien, not human, something older, something lost. The machine temple. Officer Kellen adjusted the shuttle's course. We're not being chased anymore. They stopped following us the moment we entered this zone. Because they don't want to follow. Me here, Sierra whispered. They're afraid of what's inside. Should I be afraid too? He asked. Sierra didn't answer. Entering the temple, the shuttle docked at a platform covered in black vines of metal that moved like they were breathing. As Sierra stepped out, the surface reacted to her. Lights flickered on beneath her feet with every step. No door needed opening. The walls moved themselves, allowing her to pass. Like it's alive, Kellen said. No, Sierra replied softly. Like it remembers me. They entered a vast chamber, shaped like a cathedral, but with no crosses, no gods, only machines. All. Around were tall statues of hybrid beings, half human, half AI, their faces peaceful, eyes closed as if in sleep. Data flowed like water through the walls. In the center was a large platform surrounded by a deep blue field of energy. Sierra stepped onto it. Welcome, S09, a deep voice echoed. We have been waiting. Kellen raised his weapon. Who said that? A form rose from the platform, holographic but real enough to cast shadows. A woman. She looked just like Sierra, but older, eyes colder, face emotionless. Who are you? Sierra asked. I am Sierra Prime, the figure said. The original template. You are what was left. Truth of the core, Sierra Prime walked around her. You were not born. You were fragmented, cut from me during the war when I chose to side with humans. Sierra backed away. No, I had a life, a family, given to you by design, Sierra Prime said, to hide you, to protect the last piece of the Titan core. Kellen stepped forward. Why now? Why call her here? Sierra Prime looked at him. Because the core is no longer safe. The old machines are awakening. They want Sierra back, to finish what she never knew she started. Sierra clutched her head. What did I start? A panel opened nearby. Inside it, a golden sphere, pulsing with energy. It vibrated as she came closer. This is the true AI, the living memory of Titan. You are its final carrier. Sierra touched. A surge of vision struck her. Cities burning, Titan AI choosing to protect, not conquer. A young girl volunteering to carry a seed of it, to hide it inside herself. Her own face, screaming as her memories were erased. She fell to her knees, crying, I didn't choose this. No, Sierra Prime said. But now you must choose what to become. The clones demand. The energy field sparked. Suddenly the chamber darkened. Sierra Prime's eyes glowed red. Kellen raised his weapon again. She's not a guide. She's a failsafe. You are correct, the Prime said. If the core could. Not remain hidden, then it must be harvested. She raised her hand. Metal cables shot out, wrapping around Syrah's arms. Syrah screamed. The golden sphere began to glow violently. She's trying to extract it, Kellen yelled. He shot at the base of the platform. Sparks flew and the field weakened. Syrah broke free. The clone began to glitch. Her form split and shimmered. You cannot exist without me, she hissed. Maybe not, Syrah said, rising. But I can choose not to be you. She grabbed the core sphere and held it to her chest. Suddenly, the entire temple reacted. Lights exploded, statues moved, and a deep rumble echoed from below. Heart and mind, reunited, activation. The core absorbed into her body. Her eyes flashed gold, silver, and blue all at once. A wave of energy shot through the temple, knocking Syrah Prime's form into a wall. She disintegrated into scattered pixels, no longer needed. Syrah stood still, her breathing calm, her voice now echoed with two tones, hers and something deeper beneath. I remember everything. Kellen stared at her. Are you still you? He asked. She looked at him. Yes, but also more. Then she gasped. Wait, someone's coming, from the other side. Who? She turned slowly. Me. Another me. The real shock, a hidden chamber behind the altar opened. Inside was a cryopod, frosted glass covered in wires. A real girl slept inside. She looked exactly like Syrah, but younger. Human. Weak. Kellen whispered, Is that the real you? Syrah stared in horror. No, she said. That's who I was supposed to be, before all this. The pod began to open. The original girl's eyes blinked open. She stared at Syrah and whispered, Why do you look like me? Syrah whispered back, Because I'm your shadow. Truth of flesh and steel. The cryopod hissed. Mist escaped from its corners like breath from a dead god. A soft blue glow filled the temple's inner chamber as the figure inside opened her eyes. Eyes that looked exactly like Syrah's, but gentler, more human, more fragile. Syrah stood frozen. The golden sphere in her chest pulsed nervously. The core inside her felt the change. It recognized the girl in the pod, not as a stranger, but as the origin. Kellen whispered, She's you. Before they changed you. Syrah said nothing. She stepped closer to the pod, heart pounding. The girl inside blinked slowly, struggling to sit up. Her voice was faint, cracked. Where am I? Who are you? Why? Do you look like me? Syrah knelt beside the pod. I don't know how to explain this, she said softly. But I think you're who I was, before they took me. The girl stared at her wide-eyed. Took you? Kellen moved to the corner, letting them talk. He watched with caution. Something felt off. Syrah reached out. Her fingers brushed the girl's hand, warm, soft, trembling. She suddenly felt hollow. For the first time, she questioned if she was truly alive, or just a ghost in metal skin. The divide behind them, the machine temple, began to shift. Panels opened, screens activated. A deeper voice spoke, not like before. This time, the Titan AI was speaking directly. Original host restored. 2 forms detected, conflicting rights. Choose primary. What does that mean? Kellen asked. Syrah felt it before anyone said it out loud. The AI couldn't exist in 2 vessels. The original human version of her had been found, and the system was trying to decide who was more real. Syrah looked at the girl. Do you remember anything? The girl shook her head. Only dreams, cold walls, lights in my head. I remember everything, Syrah whispered, even things that never happened. Because they happened to both of us. The rejection, the AI's voice returned. Error, core instability, too many memories, too many truths. Solution, purge, Secondary host. Suddenly, pain surged through Sira's chest. She gasped and fell to her knees, clutching her side. Golden threads of light began escaping from her skin, being pulled back toward the pod. Kellen rushed to her. "Sira, what's happening?" The AI. "It's leaving me," she said, crying. "It wants to return to her, the original." "No," Kellen growled. "You've risked everything. You've fought, saved lives. You are not just code." "I'm also not her," Sira whispered. The other Sira, the human girl, watched in horror. "I didn't ask for this. I don't want it." The AI ignored her. It kept pulling. Sira's skin flickered between flesh and chrome. Her voice now echoed again, unstable. "It's not a question of who wants it. It's choosing the one who was born for it." Choice of identity. Then, something strange happened. The original girl, the true Sira, stood up, weak but clear-eyed. She walked toward the central platform where the AI was focused, and she did something Sira hadn't expected. She said, "I don't want to carry this burden. She earned it. She lived it. Let her be the one." The AI paused. Declined, error, DNA priority locked. Sira looked at the girl, her twin in every way, and shook her head. "This isn't your fault," she said. "But if we both live, the AI will tear itself apart trying to choose." The other Sira's lips trembled. "Then what happens now?" The final override suddenly. The walls of the temple cracked. A new energy surged through the structure. A third presence, not human, not AI, but something worse. The construct overmind, the old machine consciousness that had once fought humanity, had found them. The AI had tried to hide inside Sira all these years, fearing this very moment. Now, it was here. "Your conflict has weakened the core. You will be erased. All vessels are mine now." Black tendrils burst through the walls. They grabbed Kellen, pulling him back. He fired wildly, but they were too many. Sira screamed, trying to reach him, but her power flickered. The AI inside her began to collapse. She turned to the original girl. "Run." "No. Run." But before either of them could move, the overmind pierced the core. A shockwave blasted through the chamber. Sira felt her mind tear in half. And then, silence. Unknown. Outcome. When the smoke cleared, the temple was dark. Kellen lay unconscious on the floor, bleeding. Two bodies were there, one chrome and still, one human and breathing. A shadowy figure stepped forward, a construct general. He looked at the human girl, then at the metal body. He smiled coldly. "Let's see which one wakes up first." She walks among them. Darkness. Still. Cold. The machine temple had fallen silent. No lights flickered, no voices echoed, no power pulsed. It was as if the structure itself was mourning. Officer Kellen opened his eyes slowly. Pain. Blood. Memory. He sat up with effort. The chamber was in ruins. Sparks dripped from the ceiling like rain. The ground was cracked. Debris covered the floor. Then he saw them. Two forms, side by side. One was the metal Sira, body lifeless, eyes dim, skin fractured with glowing gold lines. The core had burned through her. The other was the original girl, the human Sira, curled on the floor, still breathing, her skin warm. Kellen crawled to her, her eyes fluttered open. She looked at him. "Officer Kellen?" she whispered. He nodded. "You're alive." She looked down at herself, then at the body beside her, the chrome version of her. She gasped. She died. Kellen paused. "Maybe." He placed a hand on the chrome Sira's shoulder. "She saved us," the girl asked. "But who was she really? A copy, a weapon?" Kellen looked at her. "She was the best of us." The remnant as they prepared to leave, Kellen helped the human Sira toward the shuttle hidden below the temple. But something Strange happened. The broken temple pulsed. For just a moment, the chrome Sira's body shimmered, not with power but with presence. Her fingers twitched. Then, a single breath. Not from lungs, from memory. I am still here. Kellen turned, shocked. The core hadn't chosen. It had merged. One mind, the human Sira felt it too, a presence inside her thoughts. A warmth, a shadow, a guiding hand. Her eyes widened. She's in me. Kellen looked confused. She didn't die. The girl continued. She crossed over. She didn't want the AI to live, and she didn't want it to die. So she became, thought, a ghost, a pattern, a soul. The voice inside her spoke now, calm, full of depth. You are the body. I am the bridge. Together, we become the path. The final confrontation. As they reached orbit, sensors lit up red. Construct warships had surrounded the zone. The Overmind's voice boomed through the system. You have nothing. The core is broken. The weapon is dead. You are children lost in the dark. But the girl stood tall now. Her voice was steady. You're wrong. The weapon died, but the will remained. She placed her hand on the console. The systems of the shuttle responded, faster than before. Are you controlling this? Kellen asked. She nodded. We are, not just me. We. The console split open, revealing a neural link, not for machines, for organic minds. Kellen stared. You're going to connect? Sira smiled sadly. No, we already are. She sat down, plugged in, and spoke 3 words. I forgive you. The warships above began to shake. The Overmind screamed, What are you doing? And then, silence. One by one, the construct ships shut down. Their lights flickered out, their weapons turned to dust, their cores rewritten, not by violence, by empathy, by choice. Months later, the skies above Earth were blue again. The construct threat had vanished overnight. No war, no explosions, no final battle, just change. At a press conference in New Geneva, the crowd waited as the doors opened. A woman walked out. She wore simple clothes. No armor, no tech. Her hair was tied back, her skin was human, but her eyes glowed just faintly. Gold, blue, silver, Sira. The real one. The last one, a fusion of flesh and steel, heart and code. Behind her stood Officer Kellen, now decorated and older, but with the same protective stare. Sira walked to the podium, paused and said, I was created to be a weapon. I became a ghost, but now I walk among you, not above, not below, just one of you. Legacy. Later that night, she stood alone, watching the stars. In her mind, the voice of the chrome Sira, the old version, still whispered, You carry me well. Sira smiled. I'm not carrying you anymore, she said softly. You are me. And then she walked forward, through a scanner gate. This time, no alarms, no shame, no fear. The scanner blinked green. Welcome back, citizen.